Hello, everybody. I'm here today to talk to you about our CAD Freeway locations and how best to find them. A little background here. So our street data used to be in a planar format, and at some point in the past it was updated to a non-planar format. You might be asking yourself, so what does that mean, Mo? Well, the next three slides are going to describe the basics of each and the differences, and then there's some links included at the end for those who might be interested in a deeper understanding of the subject. So first off, planar data. Planar street data can be represented in two dimensions without any underpasses or overpasses. So an example would be a simple map of the 101 freeway and Las Posas Road. And in this example, the representation intersects at one point. Now, if we improve upon the data, the complexity increases. So if we add northbound freeway and southbound freeway, we now have two locations where the data intersects. When we move to talking about non-planar data, non-planar street data refers to street network data that cannot be accurately represented as a simple two-dimensional plane. Take, for example, this screenshot of Google Maps of the intersection of Las Posas and 101. You'll notice that there are 17 intersections if this were planar data. Now, in the non-planar data, the segments do not intersect where they don't actually intersect. So you'll notice that 6 of those 17 are now yellow there because they do not intersect in the data any longer. And this is consistent with what's going on out there in the real world where Las Posas goes over the freeway without any intersection between the two roadways. So what does this mean to us? Well, freeways and cross streets cannot be geo-verified the way they used to be as the street segments no longer intersect in the data. For example, if you put Las Posas/101, you may not get the location that you're searching for to come up in the geolocator box. So the answer to this is to use the premise locations that we utilize for those locations. So premises have either been created or recreated for all the freeway locations, and they all follow a consistent format. So premises exist for all locations in the following formats. For something like Las Posas at the 101 freeway, you put the street at the freeway number and then it followed by freeway. We also have northbound on the freeway north of streets, northbound at the street, and northbound south of the street. And again, those three recreated for southbound side. If you want to see all of the freeway locations for a given street and freeway, use star B, the freeway number, star in the street, portion of the street at least, and another star. The example here, you'll see star B 101, star Las P, gives you all of the 101 at Las Posas hits. If you want to see all the cross streets for a freeway, star at and the freeway number with a star will give you all of the streets that cross the freeways. So in this example, it's the 118, and you'll see First Street there, Cochran, Collins, Erringer, etc. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to me at my email address. And if you did want to dive deeper, here's those links I mentioned at the beginning. Hope you all have a great shift and a good day.